Great. Okay, so equipment you're going to need today, same stuff we've been using. We're going to do just a couple different, same equipment, some different movements with the eyes and the ears. So you'll need a letter ball of some sort. Remember, if you don't have a letter ball, that can be a rolled up pair of socks, something interesting to look at, or even a rag, a dog toy, anything you have where it's got some kind of an interesting pattern on it. And then the only other thing you're going to need is 2 pencils, 2 cooking utensils, 2 forks, whatever's easy for you to hold. If that's not accessible, you can also use your thumbs. Okay, just as another reminder again, here in the Bay Area in California, we have the smoke rolling in pretty heavily again. I've talked to a handful of people now that are definitely feeling it in their chests and their throats. So just a kind of another heads up to move at your own pace. Listen to your body, listen to your breath. If you need to slow down, please do that. And then, of course, when we start to work on some of the visual and vestibular work, remember, it's okay. It's not a bad thing to get dizzy, but that means that that's your edge. So right when you start to get dizzy, go ahead and back off, take a break. You can close your eyes. That usually helps. Yeah, so listen to your body. All right. Sure I've got everything here. Okay, so we'll come to a seated or a standing position, making sure those feet are grounded on the floor or the base of your chair. We'll close the eyes if that feels right. We'll settle into the body. Let's maybe start with finding your breath. And I want you to try to put your breath into the back of your body today. So instead of feeling it in your low belly, can you try to sense your breath into your low back or even your mid back? So with each inhale, you might be feeling that gentle pushing of the ribs away. And then with each exhale, the ribs come back together. Trying to nasal breathe, so mouth is shut if you can. And then I just want you to start to find a sway in a circle. So you're just going to move your body in a circle around you. Feeling that weight shifting as you lean towards each side, forward, back. Maybe notice what your pelvis is doing here. So is your pelvis or are your ribs adjusting as you circle around? Go ahead and switch directions. Can you keep an even and smooth breath? Okay, and then we're going to come back to the center. I want you to set an intention for class today. And on your next exhale, we'll open the eyes. Okay, so we're gonna bring hands to the outsides of the ribs here. And we're gonna do something similar. I'm gonna give you my side profile so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna do something similar to what we were just doing with the eyes closed, but we're gonna do eyes open. So I want you to start to move in that same circle around your sit bones. But as you do that, I want you to find that movement maybe more so in your pelvis as opposed to your ribs. Okay, so come back to the center. So what I mean by that, I want you to lean back and I want you to tuck your tail under you. And then lean forward and lift your tail. Lean back, tuck that tail under, forward to lift. Exhale back, inhale lift. And notice as I do this, everything above my ribs, so I want you to keep moving as I'm talking you through this, everything above my ribs stays relatively upright. I'm really just moving from my pelvis and my low back. Okay, so I'm not doing a full, getting small like a ball. I'm just moving from my pelvis, tucking the tail under and lifting. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Okay, And now with that, I'm going to have you find that rib translation side to side. So now your hips stay steady and your ribs glide to the left and to the right. When I do this one, you'll see me kind of touching my ribs. When I'm not looking at myself, I use these kind of self-touch. I've been doing this for who knows how many years now, and I still use self-touch because it helps me bring awareness to those areas. So feel free to put your hands on your ribs, on your belly, wherever it's easy for you to cue from. Okay, so now we're going to connect all 4 of those movements. So you're going to glide the ribs to the left, tuck the hips under, glide the ribs to the right, lift the tail. Glide hips left, tuck the tail, glide hips right, lift the tail. Left, tuck, right, and lift. One more in this direction. So you're almost doing like a hula hooping motion around your hips. Yeah, and now can we go the other way? So I can't remember what, let's see. So now you're going to the right, back, to the left, and forward. And I just want you to notice, maybe is one side harder for your ribs or your pelvis to move under? Is one direction harder for you? We're just getting that whole area a bit more mobilized and sensing anything that might feel kind of funky or sticky there. Okay, good. Come all the way up to the top. We'll bring arms up. Interlace the fingers if you're able to. Take a nice dive. I want you to articulate that spine as much as you can, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Take a pause at the bottom here and find that same breath into the back of your ribs. Can you feel that breath in between your shoulder blades? Can you feel it in your mid-back? Can you even feel it in your low back? Slowly roll yourself back up. Yep. You can leave the arms overhead or you can cross the arms over the chest, whatever feels better for you. Take a side bend to the left and then the right. To the left and to the right. Okay. Similar idea here. Do you have a side that's harder for you to side bend to? Whatever side is harder for you, we're going to do an extra few reps on that side. And if you can't tell which side is harder, you can continue to do both sides. I definitely have a side that's harder for me. Okay, now I want you to hold it over to that side. I want you to grab that wrist and pull it even more. So pull that wrist into that side bend. Breathe into the open ribs. And then come all the way back up to the center. Hands come down, give them a little shake. Yeah. Okay, similar idea with the rotation. So let's bring right hand to left knee, rotating to the left. Can you keep your eye on your thumb? The thumb that's reaching behind you, yep. And back to the center and switch. Eyes on the thumb and switch. I'm going to change your breathing here. So I want you to exhale to rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Notice how that changes it. We usually do this on the inhale. Exhale to rotate. Inhale, center. Couple more. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Last one. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Okay. Pick a side that was harder for you, maybe a little bit stickier. Do 4 more in that direction. And if you don't know which side was harder for you, then you can just do 2 in each direction. Stay with that same breath, finding an exhale to rotate and an inhale to center. Yeah, when you've done those 4, Go ahead and come back to the center. We'll push your arms forward, so arms now are out in front of you, giving me that stop sign signal, hands up. And I just want you to find a few wrist circles around. Yeah, you can spread your fingers out if you'd like. Switch directions. Okay, give me that stop sign signal again. Lean forward, so I want you to round from the upper back like you're pushing something really heavy forward. We're just rounding from the upper back. And then stack tall, bring the arms behind you, look up at the ceiling. Push that heavy object forward, just rounding from the upper spine. And then arms back, chest up. Good. Can you inhale to push forward? And exhale to open. Inhale, push forward. And exhale, open. Let's do one more. Inhale, forward. And exhale, open. Good. Hands can just come to your lap now. We'll find a few shoulder circles up, down, and around. Can you inhale as your shoulders shrug up? And I want you to inhale again into that low part of your torso and exhale to unshrug. Inhale up and exhale and shrug. Just staying with your breath here. Let's do one more. Okay, and relax. Awesome. Okay, let's do a little bit more of sensory wakening up. So let's bring fingers or knuckles to the head, to the scalp. Go ahead and give yourself a really nice head scratch all the way around the hairline, over the top of the head. Remember, if you've got a sensitive spot, give it an extra little bit of love. Okay, and relax. Go ahead and just notice that difference there. You're going to bring hands to the ears. If you're able to grab the ears, go ahead and grab kind of the lower lobe. If that's hard for you, we can just bring knuckles to kind of around and in front of the ears. And I just want you to find a few ear circles in each direction. So you're just gently pulling. I only want you to pull as much as you can where you feel the tissue pulling back. Okay, so this is a small movement. And then I want you to grab the tops of your ears and pull up and slightly back. Yeah. And then cup your ears. Yeah, hands completely over the ears. And then I just want you to find a few more circles like that. Giving that whole area some opening. Good, and relax. Awesome. Okay, let's find our quick body tapping here. So you can start on whatever side you'd like. We'll work down the outside of the arm and then up the inside of the arm. And let's do each one 3 times. Don't forget to give your chest a little bit of love when you come up and over. Remember, you could be rubbing, you could be tapping, knocking. Usually our systems have some kind of a sensation preference, where someone might like more of a rub, I like more of a tap. So just see what your body feels like today. When you've done that side a few times, we'll work our way over to the other arm. Same pattern, down the outside, up the inside, following the meridians. Noticing if you hit any tender spots as you're rolling through this. And we're going to go right from that into a little bit of a back rub. So just kind of giving your low back a little rub. If you've got good shoulder flexibility, you can get your mid back, And we're going to go right into the legs today, tapping down the outside of the legs. Go as far as you safely can. If you can get to the feet, awesome. And then coming up the inside of the legs. Down the outsides and up the insides. Sometimes it's even nice, I haven't mentioned this one, but sometimes a kind of a karate chop. So you're tapping your body more with the pinky side of your hand can also feel really good. It's a little bit more percussive. Good. When you've done that a few times, go ahead and make sure you get the tops of your legs. Those are your quads. You can get the undersides of your legs. Those are your hamstrings. And then we'll rub the hands together, creating a little bit of friction. You can rub the knuckles. And then give the hands a shake. And if you're able to, try to flick, as if you had water on your hands, flick the water off your hands. If that's hard for you to do, we're just going to stay with that wrist shake. Otherwise, I want you to flick that water off. Get those intrinsic muscles, those muscles on the insides of your hands waking up. Okay, good, and relax, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna have you go ahead and grab your letter ball. We'll do a quick check, recheck before we officially start with the letter ball. So let's start, sorry, I forgot where to start here. Let's start with the arms coming up overhead. So remember, for this check, recheck, for those of you maybe just joining, we're just trying to notice ease of movement, speed of movement. Is there stickiness or pain? Does one side get further than the other? This is your assessment, so I really want you dropping into your body as we do this one. Let's find shoulder internal and external rotation. Noticing how that's feeling for you today. We'll do cervical rotation, so turning the head left to right. Good. And then side tilting your head, so tilting the head left and right. Eyes stay forward for this one. Okay. Thoracic rotation, so arms can be crossed over the chest or hands out in front of you to rotate the full spine. If you're a standing athlete, you could be doing sit to stands. Say that 5 times fast. You could be doing single leg balance. You could be doing hip hinges or push-ups. Okay, so whatever makes the most sense for you to find that check-in. Alrighty, I'm going to grab your letter ball. For those of you that have been playing, joining me for a while, go ahead and go right into playing letter ball. Remember, you can throw it around yourself. You could play catch with a partner or a wall. I'm going to explain it if there's, for the new people on here. So holding that ball into your chest, you'll pull it away from you, and I want you to quickly look at the ball, and the first letter or number you see, you're going to say out loud, and then pull it back in. Pull it out to a different part around your body, so you're just going to be hitting all of these different angles around your body, looking at the ball, shouting out the letter or number, pulling it back in, okay? So you're trying to quickly look at the ball and say that letter or number as quickly as you can. The first letter or number you see is what you say. Just moving it all around you. If you want to make it a little bit harder, and or if you're able to throw the ball, you could play catch with yourself saying, same idea, saying the first letter or number that you see. Okay, so I'm gonna start to layer on for this one. We're gonna bring some brain speed into this as always. If you see a letter, I'm gonna have you look up into the right-hand corner with your head, your neck, and your eyes. So if you see a letter, you're quickly just gonna look up into the upper right-hand corner of your wall or your room, and then you're gonna come back to the center. If you see a number, you're gonna look into the upper left-hand corner. I know, and I just screwed up my rights and my left, so I apologize. I was mirroring you and then I wasn't, okay? So letter, you look to the right. Number, you look to the left, okay? So the idea of this is when you catch a letter or a number, you're moving your head and your neck and it's quick. You see it, you make a decision quickly, and then you turn your head left or right based on what you see. Letter, you look to the right. Number, you look left. Letter, right. Number, left. Okay, just gonna watch people here. So you're still playing. You're just adding that head movement in. If you do not have letters or numbers on your ball, you could pick something different. So if you have if it's a colored pair of socks with red dots and blue dots, you can do it based off of red and blue. If you're unable to see, then you're just going to be doing that same game, rotating with the body, the head, and the neck. So we're still getting that full body movement, full body rotation. Yeah. So the goal here is to make that decision quickly and then do the motion. Yeah, there we go. That looks good, everybody. Yeah, good. Nice, Barbara. Okay. I want you to do maybe 6 or 7 more throws. I'm having you look up because we rarely ever look up in our day-to-day lives. So this is a good movement to bring back into your system. Yeah. Awesome. Go ahead and relax. We can place that letter ball down. I'm going to have you grab your 2 pencils. Okay. So you can just hold on to those for now, and we're going to layer into this one. So I want you to start. For my seated athletes, you're just going to be doing a hip hinge forward, so a seated hip hinge forward. So trying to lean forward as if you were kind of tipping over your feet, trying to keep a flat back, neutral pelvis. If you need to keep your hands on your knees to support you, you can. My standing athletes are just going to be doing the standing hip hinge version of this. Knees are slightly bent here. Remember to keep that back flat and pelvis neutral. Okay. For those of you that don't need the support on your knees, you're going to bring your arms out in front of you. So I want your head to stay totally straight forward, and I want you to be able to see both tips of the pencils that you're holding without moving your head. So can you bring your eyes from the left to the right pencil without moving your head? So make sure that's not too wide, okay? For those of you where it's hard for you to hold your hands up, you're just going to be using objects on the ceiling or the wall in front of you, okay? If you can hold your hands up, you'll stay with me. For those of you that are blind or visually impaired, hang in there, and I'm going to give you something slightly different. You're going to lean forward. I want you to look at the left-hand pencil without moving your head. We're working on something called gaze stabilization. You're going to lean forward. Your arms come with you, and your eyes stay on that left-hand pencil the whole time. Don't let your head move. Keep your eyes locked on that pencil as you lean forward, as you lean away. Oh my God, I forgot how hard this one was. As you lean forward, as you lean away. Keep your eyes on that left-hand pencil. Don't let your eyes wander back. Keep your eyes on the pencil. Remember, if it's hard for you to use the pencils, just use something up in the corner of the room as you lean forward. Okay, you're gonna do 3 more like that, and then you're gonna go to the other pencil and you're gonna do 10 on the other side. For those of you that are blind or visually impaired, you're gonna be doing the same movement here. Arms are gonna be overhead if you're able to. You're gonna come into a hip hinge forward, and then you're gonna come up. So this modification I'm walking you through now is only for those who are blind or visually impaired, okay? Arms overhead, leaning forward and back up. If you're tilting forward, yeah, there we go, okay. So now I want you to do it a little bit quicker, and I want you to bring your eyes with you the whole time. Your eyes, your head, and your neck. So you're quickly going up, down, up, down, up, down. This, because we're going quicker, this is just working the vestibular system a little bit more. Yeah, Julie, that looks good. And Lori, hopefully you're with me here. So you're just doing a quick lean up, quick lean down. If you get dizzy, go ahead and back off and take a break. For everyone else who is looking at the pencils, you are hopefully getting close to being done with the 10 repetitions on the other side. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so if you're still moving through that, keep going. Maybe do, for those who are blind or visually impaired, do maybe 5 more of those quick ones. I'll give you a few seconds here and then we'll move on. Yeah. Okay, so whatever direction, I just want you to mentally note right now, which direction was it harder for you to look at, the left or the right with that pencil. Just take note of that. We're going to come back to that in a second. Let's do a quick recheck here. So we'll bring both arms overhead. See if that's gotten any better, different, the same, worse. Okay, nice, Nancy. That's great. That's great. Yeah, actually, let's do a thumb check-in just because I'm curious. For those of you that this improved, wait, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's go through all of these. So I want you to do shoulder internal, external rotation. Nancy, you got me excited there, so I jumped the gun. Okay, let's do thoracic rotation. So hands out in front of you or across the chest as you rotate. Cervical rotation, so just your head, that one got better, turning side to side. Okay. Just your head tilting from side to side, tilting to the left, tilting to the right. If you're a standing athlete, you're doing sit to stands, balancing, or hip hinges. Okay, how many of you did that movement? So a thumbs up, it improved. A sideways thumbs, it stayed the same. And a down thumb, it got worse. Okay, I see a few thumbs up, a couple side thumbs. Yeah, nice, Claudia. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got you. Okay, awesome. Okay, good. That's interesting. Okay, so whatever direction was, let me rephrase that. Whatever side was harder for you to stare at, whether it was upper left or upper right, I want you to take that pencil, just one pencil, and hold it up in that position. I'm going to hold it on my left side. Okay? Yeah, so we're all going to be maybe slightly different. And then I want you to rotate towards that side, keeping your eyes and your head at the same angle the whole time. So my eyes are still really having to look up and to the left as I add in a rotation. And I'm trying not to cheat with my chin. I'm trying to keep my chin lined up with the center of my chest so that my eyes are still working really hard to see this pencil. Okay, for those of you that are blind or visually impaired, I'm just going to bring you right into some more vestibular work. So hands crossed over the chest, and you're going to find a quick rotation, bringing your head with you, side to side. Okay, going quickly left, right, left, right, left, right. Move at your own pace with these. If you've got the pencil, I want you to do maybe 3 more. 3 more on that harder side. I like to keep my hand on my chin to know I'm not cheating. Make sure you're only seeing 1 pencil too. If you're starting to see 2 pencils, your eyes are getting a little tired, so maybe take a break. Okay, good, and relax, awesome. Okay, come back to the center. We'll bring arms out. You don't need your pencils now. We'll bring arms out to the side, palms facing forward. Okay, we're gonna hinge forward. Right hand comes to left ankle if you're able to reach it. Otherwise, it can just come to your left knee. You're gonna reach that hand, that left hand up towards the ceiling. Yeah, rotate back to the center. Pull yourself to a seated upright position. Hinge forward, rotate to the right. Right hand is up towards the ceiling. Can you keep your eyes on that right hand? Rotate to the center, sit upright. Yeah, we call this one saw. This move is called saw in Pilates. Hinge forward, rotate left, reach up, back to the center and upright. That's it. Hinge forward, rotate right, and reach up. And all the way upright. Oh, I thought I had to sneeze. Okay, we're gonna, sorry, we're gonna make this more flowy. So hinge forward, rotate left, come all the way back upright. So it's a bit more simultaneous. Hinge forward, rotate right, and lift. Hinge forward, rotate left, and up. Hinge forward, rotate right, and up. Eyes go to the top hand each time. Eyes, head, and neck. So we're all doing the same thing here. Eyes, head, and neck. Yep. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Awesome. And come all the way back down. Go and give the arms a shake. Okay. So we're gonna, let's do this. Let's cross arms over the chest just to start for this one. If you have a back of a chair behind you, that's fine. So I'm gonna have you leaning back. If you have that chair back behind you, I just want you to lift your chest up towards the ceiling, and I'm gonna have your head and your neck and your chest lift up towards the ceiling. If you're able to, for everyone else who maybe doesn't have a back of a chair, I'm gonna have you lean back with a flat back, almost like you're Frankenstein. So leaning back with the flat back, or you're just lifting your head and your chest up and coming back to the center, okay? Inhale to lean back. We should feel the abdominals working here, and exhale forward. Inhale back, and exhale forward. Okay, do 1 more. Back and forward, okay? Grab your pencils. If it's too hard to use the pencils, remember you can also use objects in the room. So whatever variation of that lean back you're doing, arms are gonna come out to the side just like we did. You're gonna lean back. This time the hands are right at about eye distance. So they're not high, they're not low, they're right in the middle, like where your head is. You're gonna lean back, you're gonna hold that, and you're gonna jump your eyes from left to right as quick as you can. For those of you that are finding that chest lift and that head lift, you're just holding that extended position and you're doing the same thing, jumping your eyes back and forth. For those of you that are blind or visually impaired, we're gonna bring this into body circle rolls. So hands will be over the chest, and you're gonna be circling your full body around your hips, working your vestibular system a little bit more. Maybe do 6-ish circles in each direction, and then go ahead and take a break. For those of you that are doing the eye movements, I want you to maybe do 4 more on each side. Okay, good, good, good. I'm just watching people here. When you've done whatever variation of that it is that you're doing, you can drop the pencils. And I'm just gonna have you find a slow, heavy roll down to the ground We'll wait for everybody here. So just find your breath into the back of your ribs again. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Awesome, really nice. Okay. Let's all come to a little bit more vestibular work here. So I'm just going to give you a couple variations for this one. So for those of you that are in a chair that spins, or if you're standing, you're going to do the spinning version of this, where you're spinning around either in the chair or standing. Remember, move slowly here. So maybe you're doing 4 to 8 circles in each direction. If you've never done this before, move slowly with this. For those of you that aren't in a chair that spins, yeah, and sorry, one more thing. For those of you that are spinning, bring your eyes with you, okay? Yeah, there we go. So you're not, there's something called spotting, where your head stays looking straight forward as you spin. Remember, for these, I want your head and your eyes to move with you as you spin, so we're really giving the vestibular system a workout. Okay, for those of you that that don't have a spinning chair, we're going to come back to the full body spin, so hands crossing over the chest, and you're going to be moving. I'm moving more now from my upper ribs, kind of drawing with my head and my neck and my upper ribs a big circle around my body. The head and the eyes and everything comes with me. Okay, so everybody do maybe 3 to 10 circles in each direction. Remember, the faster you go, the harder it's going to be, the more of a workout you're giving your vestibular system. When you get dizzy, stop and take a break. But make sure you've done an even number on each side so we don't leave one side. Yeah, Elizabeth.
Hey, Rachel. So when we're doing just the ribs, how do you want our heads or eye gaze to be?
Bring your head and your eyes with you as you're moving around.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Yep. I feel the difference with that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So when you've done that X number of whatever movement you're doing, let's just take one more roll down. In fact, let's close the eyes for this one. And we'll roll all the way down to the ground. Find your breath one more time. And then roll yourself back up. Okay. Let's just do one more check-in here. We're going to give all of your systems a break. We'll just work on some coordination to finish. But let's just finish with one more re-check-in. So we'll bring both arms overhead. Maybe finding the shoulder internal, external rotation. Remember to really drop into your body for these. What are you sensing? What feels different? We can do cervical rotation, looking from left to right. And then head tilting. Ooh-wee, that got better. From left to right. What am I missing? Thoracic rotation, hands in front of you, rotating from side to side. If you're a standing athlete, you're doing sit to stands, hip hinges, balancing. And I just want to get one more read on the group here. So can I get a thumbs up if that continued to improve? Sideways thumbs, yeah, nice. Okay, if it stayed the same, and down thumb if it got worse. Yeah, nice, Claudia, thanks. Okay, yeah, I see everybody. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, I see you, yeah. Okay, good, thanks everybody. It's just good to get that feedback and to see where people are at. Okay, let's do some coordination here. So we're just gonna start with some tapping. So I want you to tap both hands on your thighs and then cross your chest and tap your shoulders. Yep. Tap the thighs, switch the cross so I've got my other arm in front as I tap my shoulders. Thighs, shoulders, thighs, switch the shoulders. Yep. thighs, shoulders, thighs, switch, thighs, shoulders, thighs, switch. Okay, so I want you to stay with that rhythm. I want you to see if you can pick up the pace a little bit. Okay, for those of you that have movement in your feet, I'm gonna layer on with you differently than I am with everyone else. So I just want you to keep going with that pattern, get that pattern into your body. Okay, for those of you with movement in your feet, every time you tap your shoulders, sorry, I had to get in the rhythm there. Every time you tap your shoulders, one foot lifts up, so my toes on my left lift up, my toes on my right lift up. Toes on left lift up, toes on right lift up. And I'm just alternating back and forth each time I tap. Okay, that's if you've got movement in the lower body. Otherwise, you're going to stay with me here, and we'll continue to layer on. So thighs, tap, thighs, switch the tap. Thighs, hands behind your head. Thighs, shoulders, thighs, switch the shoulders, thighs behind the head. And shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. Okay. Yeah, thighs, shoulders, thighs, switch the shoulders, thighs behind the head. Okay, so I want you to find that rhythm. Stay with that rhythm.
Are we keeping the feet going during this, Rachel?
Oh yeah, I stopped doing the feet. Yeah, so every time your hands tap your shoulders, you're just alternating. Right toes lift the first time, left toes lift the second time. Right toes lift the third time, left toes lift the fourth time, and so on.
So it's, could you say it as legs, is it cross both ways and then the head?
Yes, yes. So
okay.
Thighs, yeah, thighs, cross and tap the shoulders. Thighs, switch and cross and tap the shoulders. Thighs, bring the arms behind the head. Yep. Thighs, shoulders, thighs, switch the shoulders, thighs, overhead. Okay. Keep going with that. I'm going to, as you're doing that, I want you to spell your full name and the street you live on. Just say it out loud. Spell your full name, the street you live on. Keep this pattern going. Full name, street you live on. Once you've done that, spell your city, spell your state, spell the country. Try not to slow down this pattern. Just getting your brain working here. Don't slow down the pattern.
Okay, I have a question. If I don't use the feet, it seems like I can do the speaking. If I use the feet, I can't coordinate this. I can't get words out at all. What do you suggest?
Skip the feet. Skip the feet.
Skip the feet? Okay, thank you.
It's an extra challenge. To be honest, I'm not even trying the feet right now just because I'm teaching and trying to do
Okay.
yeah, I've stopped doing the feet for that reason. Okay, go ahead and relax. Shake the arms out. Let's give the body a break, so I'll have you roll all the way down again. Roll all the way back up. Bring the arms up overhead, interlace your fingers. Side bending to the left. You can also cross the arms over the chest here if that makes more sense. Yep. And then side bend right. One more time, side bend left. Side bend right. Open the arms back up behind you, lifting everything up towards the ceiling. Can you touch your palms together behind your back or interlace your fingers behind your back? And then go ahead and release. Okay. We'll come back to a grounded position. We'll close the eyes. We'll find our breath again. And sing if you can sense that breath into your low back, into anywhere in the back of your body. And if it helps you to bring your hands to your back, you can do that too, just to give you a little bit of feedback there. want you to think of one thing you're grateful for today. And on your next exhale, we'll open your eyes. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining today, everybody. Stay safe and healthy out there with the smoke. I'll unmute everyone in just a sec. And then I'm gonna find the link. What am I finding the link for? The YouTube video. I'll send the YouTube video into the chat box. And then Lori, I'll email you the registration for the, what month are we in? For the October session. Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining, everybody. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'll unmute you all, and then I'm gonna find that link right now.